G'day everyone, welcome back to Sunstate Metal Detecting. Thanks for joining us for another little metal detecting adventure out in the Aussie bush. Doesn't look like much, but if we wind the clocks back about 100 years or so, this would have been a bustling horse race course. We're running horse races here almost weekly at the peak of its popularity, and as it sort of continued on through up until the 1940s, the horse racing here started to die off just a little bit, and the track was last used in the early 1940s. We're here with Mel, who's a regular viewer of the channel. We're going to see what we can find today, hoping for a few older coins or maybe some horse-related finds, but you just never quite know with these old sites. So we're going to get underway, we'll see what we can track down, and I'll see you at the first signal. Oh, yeah, look at that. Hey, that's cool. So I would say that these are likely off the same bottle, would be hand blown, and as far as I know, these bottles can be quite valuable. Wow, that sounds pretty darn good. Okay, well, we've got our first hopeful target here. We've had one can to start us off for the day, but this one sounds all right. Sounds a bit like that all the way around, so I'm hopeful. That sounds like there could be a little bit of depth on it, so that helps as well, I suppose. Let me see. Just don't need to worry too much about the plug here because we are just out in the bush. Big old shard of glass there. Right, really rather not end up with that in my knee. Oh, there's a bit more glass. Let's get my pinpointer out. Move the Manticore off to the side. Not quite as deep as I'd thought, so it could just be some more modern garbage, and unfortunately that's exactly what it is. Looks like we've got the top off an old glass bottle, and I can still unscrew it. Yeah. Not to worry. Alright, we'll pop that in the pocket and we'll carry on. Alright, another nice little target here, very small one actually. Really small. That could be a great candidate for a coin. Could be. Or a little bit lower down. Seems like the top part of this site, there may have been some soil brought in because it's a very different type of soil, a very different colour and a different blend. Down here it looks quite nice. Nice and easy to dig too, which is what we like. Okay, let's see. No sign of it. Well, whatever it is, I've knocked it into the hole. What have we got there? Almost like a hot rock. Although no, it's no, there is some form to it, but it's been melted, so yeah, junk. Let's keep moving. Wow, this one's got my interest. It's shallow and it's a real nice dot on the display and a good number, so let's find out. Real small target too. I reckon that might just be close enough to the surface for us to find with just the pinpointer. Sure is. Okay. Oh. Yeah, look at that. It's part of a clock. Hey, that's cool. Look, there's a cog on there. Yeah. That is certainly part of an old clock. Very cool. That's definitely going to be an older find. I know there's a second cog on the back there. I wonder whether the rest of it's here. Now, I will take this home and clean it up. There may be a maker's name on this plate here, which would be rather interesting to find, if indeed it is there at all. But yeah, I'm happy to find that sort of stuff. Let's move on. Okay, another nice little shallow one here. Let's have a go at this. Certainly a lovely sort of tone, and being shallow, definitely worth a go. Okay, a lot of iron in the ground here, so I'm hoping that that's not going to play too much of a part in, you know, running us around in circles with the pinpointer. Although I suspect it probably will. No, still in the hole. I think there might be... Oh, what do you know? It's probably the back off that clock I found. That's cool. Yeah. Very nice. All right, well, I'll add that to the rest of the clock in my pocket, and we'll keep moving on. Right, it has been a hot minute since I've had a target. I've been trying to make heads and tails of this place, trying to work out roughly where I am, and I think I might be on the inside of the running track. That post there, I don't think it's a tree. I think that could actually be part of the old wooden railings that would have likely been around the outside and the inside of the track. So basically from here out is the running surface, and we're just sort of on the inner oval here. Just down near this post, I've got a target. It's fairly large, but it is ringing up in the 90s, so we have to have a go. What could it be? What could it be? Just going to get a bit of this soil lifted to get us started. Oh, yeah, she's firm, that's for sure. Sorry about the awkward angle there. Now, let's pull a bit of dirt out. We'll see if we can get onto whatever this target is. It's actually further this way. All right. Oh yeah, there's something there. Well, it's yeah, that. Whatever that is. Just a hole in it. Not sure what it's made of. It feels, doesn't feel too heavy, so it's probably not steel. And definitely not steel at that sort of number. I don't know. Any ideas? We'll get this filled in, and I'll search this area a little bit more thoroughly. We'll see what else we can turn up. Right, well, we're now on what I think is the outside of the running surface, and got another post here. Not the same one, and a target next to it. Bit of a strange one. Nice and small though, which is sort of got my intrigue. And lift a bit of this soil up, and we'll find out what we're dealing with. All right. Oh, that's better. Okay, in there somewhere. What is it? This Well, unfortunately, this is just a miscellaneous scrap of metal. Nice and bendable. Not lead though, so maybe aluminium. Not too sure. Let's check our hole, make sure that's all it was. Yep, that's all she is. All right, let's move on. Well, we've moved to an area that there's a lot of undulations in the soil. Looks like people have been here for a long time doing something. We figure that something might be something to do with the racecourse. So we're having a search and I have a tone. Let's see what this is. Sounds shallow. Probably nothing overly exciting at those sort of numbers, but you just never know. Okay, it is very shallow. And it's going to be this clump of rust and possibly something else. Okay, we might have a couple of targets here. Oh, well, what on earth is that? Let's give it a bit of a clean. I'm not sure. Actually, it looks like maybe a part of a hinge. Right, so the rust was not the target we were looking for. It was this. Oh, well, we'll sort of figure that one out later, I suppose. We'll give it a bit of a clean and see what we've got. All right, I have a lovely little target in front of me. It's a little bit scattered, but we do have a lot of iron in the ground here, so that can sort of throw targets around a bit. Let's see what this is. Fairly small target, somewhere in the mid 70s, maybe up to an 80, maybe a fraction higher. Could this be the first coin of the day? I'd certainly like that if it is. Neither of us have found a coin here yet. Okay, beautiful soil here actually, it's so nice to dig. See. No, I think that was just my shovel. Just going to see, we're actually in the plug. Hey. Oh. That's not what I was hoping for. That is a big old piece of copper wire with some electrical terminals. Yeah. So maybe off an old battery, I would say. Now this racecourse didn't have power, so it is very possible that we may find battery terminals and similar things for lights. But yeah, let's fill that in and we'll keep trekking. All right, folks, we've got a lovely one here. Let's see what this is. Listen to that. Nice small target. Sounds shallow though, which is rather interesting. Oh no, I've just spotted it. It's a lid. It's a bottle cap. Ah, no. Yeah, still got the glass in there. It's actually... Oh, that's interesting. I've not seen one like that. It's got the Australian coat of arms on top. And it's a screw top, so I wonder... I've not seen one like that. It's like a coat of arms and a A V. Who knows? All right, we'll bag it. We'll keep moving on. All right, I am standing just outside of the culvert. It's a little bit difficult to see, but roughly where my hand is, that is the culvert that's running along the outside of the racing surface. And just in front of me here, I have, there's an iron tone and something else. That is the something else. What is it? That is the question of the minute. We're going to dig it and find out. Definitely good numbers for a few different coins. Still have my hopes up that we're going to find a nice coin or two today. Especially now that we've reoriented ourselves and we're now heading in the right direction. Let's see. Oops. Okay. Let's make out whatever. Oh, there is something here. What's that? Oh, it's an old tube. I was just saying to Mel before about, or just talking about finding tubes. And yep, that is an oldie because it's got no barcode. I'll actually just see if I can work out what it's a tube of. No, I can't quite make that out. But there you go. Let's keep working our way towards the grandstand. All right, there are targets everywhere and signs of structure. For example, that post right there. There is a little notch just at the top there, which is indicating that something was, maybe another piece of timber was up against that at one stage, so probably part of a structure. We don't know what just yet, but we're slowly working that out. Let's have a go. There's a little target here in front of me somewhere, mid-50s. Right there. Fairly small target too. Nice and shallow. Should make it an easy dig. And that'll be it there. What is it? I don't know. Like a cap off something, most likely. Yeah. It's junk. All right, let's keep moving. All right, another target here. We're right at the end of the main straightaway on the race course, and we're just on the inside, so just a little bit further that way is the actual racing surface. Here is the target. Little bit jumpy, but again, could be because of iron in the soil. There is a lot of iron. The iron does make it difficult for, you know, to get a nice clear tone sometimes. So let's pop that out. Let's see. This one very well could be in the plug. Yep, smack dab in the middle of the plug. Good aim. Now, what are we dealing with? Oh, it's a little tiny medicine bottle lid, still with the glass attached. Okay, is it a screw top? Yeah, it is. All right, so that's probably sort of World War II era, so towards the end of the life of the race course here. That back in the ground there, and we'll start working our way back towards the main cluster of buildings. All right, I just thought I'd show you the racetrack itself. So I'm actually standing right in the middle of what would have been the racing surface, and you can probably just make out over here there is the line of trees that are on the inside of the circuit, and over here we have the line of trees on the outside of the circuit, and you can see as the circuit goes up it will make a bend around to the left. The other direction is a little more heavily forested, but I think this is a great example showing exactly what's going on here. Now, this is towards the end of the straightaway. Back this way is where we're going next. And hopefully that's where we're going to turn up a few nice finds. So let's go and get them. All right, I think I've located a building here. There's just over here, there's this little patch here and lots of World War II era glass and bits of concrete and rocks and stuff that just doesn't belong here. And just next to it, I've got this. Beautiful small target. Now, whether it's of that same era or not is yet to be determined. But I think it's going to be shallow enough that we should be able to find it with just the pinpointer alone. Indeed. Now we'll just pop a little bit of soil up and hopefully okay, what have we got? It's another round seal thing. Don't know whether these are off some sort of can or a bottle or what, but that's our second one we found now. Right, moving on. All right, we have another tone to investigate. Let's see what this is. Yeah, generally around a 60. Again, there is a little bit of variance. And I have noticed that there are a few little bits of brick and other building materials just in this vicinity here, so it could be a former building here. Nope, I'm seeing a piece of glass, a big old... Whoa, that's an old piece of glass. Okay. Let's see. All right on top of it. And I think we have, yeah, another miscellaneous scrap. Lots of those around, and unfortunately some of them do sound rather nice. Just see, is there anything else in here to be... Getting a little false positive down there, that's likely the iron in the soil, so we'll fill this one back in and carry on. Right, not metal detecting related, but just finds on the surface. I've got pieces of a black beer bottle. Now, they are incredibly thick, so this is actually the base off a bottle. And it is just the thickest black glass you've ever seen in your life. This one's even thicker again, and that's part of the side of one. And all just in one location, so I would say that these are likely off the same bottle. Would be hand blown, and as far as I know, these bottles can be quite valuable if they're found whole. But I'll pop them in the pocket. We'll keep searching. All right, lovely little 90s tone here actually. Let's have a go. Not overly deep. Now, I've got to be a little bit careful here. There's a lot of glass around. I don't want to end up with a shard of glass through the knees. Is it this? Probably. That is a big old lump of something that's not lead. Sorry, not aluminium. Actually, it might be lead. Is it lead? No, it's not lead either. It's definitely got that bluey sort of hue to it though. And it's a lump of something. I have no idea what it's going to be for. But anyway, we'll pop that one away and we'll carry on. All right, a couple of little surface finds. I'm standing in an area where there's lots of sort of rusted metal plate, like here and down here and over there. I don't really know what it's from. I did find this car fuel cap or hubcap piece. No branding on it. Can't tell what it was. So I threw that in my pocket. Then took 2 steps and I found something. This little piece. Now it looks like it's going to be an old solenoid quite possibly or something of that nature. And it's got Volkswagen branding and a part number on it. It's ZSB 111837 035, I think. But yeah, just something a little bit interesting. It's something you don't normally find every day. So we'll pop that in the pocket as well, and we'll keep searching. All right, lovely tone here. Let's have a go at this. Wow, that sounds pretty darn good. Nice and stable too, which is a little bit unlike some of the other tones we've had around here. So could this just be our first coin of the day? Or could it be... No, that's plastic, I think. Let's see, what are we dealing with? Should be right in here somewhere. I reckon it might be in that plug. Yeah. That might be another target I'm listening to there. Or was it this? No, that is reacting. Is that? It was this. Well, I don't know what that is, but it's junk, so we're going to move on. All right, we're on our way out, and we do have a little tone here. We'll investigate. Let's see what this is. Very small target. Generally 59, 60, which could be right for, well, a few different coins. All manner of objects can be around those sort of numbers. The soil's very hard here compared to earlier on. We've got some glass. Yeah, very thick, old glass. Okay. Yep, there we go. That is a brass eyelet off some, like a tarp or a piece of canvas. All right, cool. Pop that in the bag and we'll plug on.